when you're first discovering who you are and first trying to understand those feelings, it's also a difficult path in itself, and I think everyone's journey is different, and so I think there's a lot of positives in the fact that in our environment, in the women's football world, there's a lot of examples where people can hopefully relate to others who feel similarly to how they do, and that enables people to feel, as I say, safe and comfortable. But I also think there are harmful instances, and I think we probably have seen some of those too, where from a relatively young age people, whether it's even within the environment or outside the environment, talk about your sexuality from a young age, and you were probably asked from a young age what your preference is, and would you try it, and would you go there, and have you gone there, and are you're close friends with somebody, and then that becomes a rumour, or they're really close, and
I think as a girl playing football, it's changed a lot now. A lot more girls playing football, and it's seen as a girls' sport as well, but definitely growing up, you wear your trackies, you're always playing with the boys, you're always with the boys.
Yeah.
You're not going out and getting dressed up and got your heels on. I think, although I've been straight my whole life, people would have questioned, like, for sure. Me and my sister's so traditionally girly, dancer. I was a footballer wearing trackies, and she's grown up and she's gay, and I've ended up being straight, but you'd definitely presume it would be me just going on like stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's
I think stereotypes are just dangerous in general.
Yeah.
I think anytime you use sort of generalised terms, it can be dangerous, and I think you hear comments all the time. All female footballers are gay. Why are so many gay? And it's a conversation that should no longer exist, because it's false for one thing, but two, it can be harmful, and I think it's insensitive to the fact that everyone goes through a different process, and whether that's about sexuality or just kind of any types of relationships, I think it's something that's sensitive and personal to everybody, and there's probably been a lot of instances where there's a lack of respect around that in general.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a positive way in women's football that people are so open, because I think my experience, my friends that I've grown up with, some of them, when they've become gay or come out, well, they've not come out initially and they've had to hide it.
Yeah.
And I've been their friend for years and never known, and then eventually they've admitted it. And for me, being their friend, the most hurtful thing was the fact that they didn't feel comfortable that they could come out and speak about it. And then when I found out, I was more hurt that they thought it wasn't okay.
How you would think. Yeah.
So I think now that it's hopefully LGBT plus
history.
Yeah, history. And it's becoming more aware, and everyone accepts it a bit more. I'd like to think it's a better age and a better generation now to accept everyone.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think we're starting to see that, and the more we have these conversations, I think ultimately the more people learn. I think we're all still learning, and I think the biggest thing people can do is to try and educate themselves and educate the people around them, and keep these conversations in the forefront and able to happen, so everyone's open to it and everyone can hopefully feel that they have a space.
I think we could talk about this all day, but I think we've only scratched the surface. I think there's a lot more education out there, information to help people be aware. So thanks for chatting to me.
Always a pleasure.